guys, and welcome to this video. This week I'm actually on the move in my car whilst doing this vlog. Something different, tried. I've jammed my phone in the middle of the dash and I'm recording myself, so hopefully it doesn't fall from there and yeah, we can get on with the vlog. I'm going to do some videos on esports and what you really need to become a champion in esports. As you can tell, maybe by my voice, I've got the cold, so I'll try and keep this week short and sweet, but I'll be planning on doing more videos to do with esports in the future. So to begin with, if you're starting out, you don't know what you want to do in esports, the number one thing you have to start with is you need to figure out what you're interested in. So take a real life example. What interests you in sports? So is it football? Then you're probably going to start playing FIFA tournaments as esports. Is it racing? You're going to start sim racing like I did. Strategy games, then something to do with that would be better for you. So you really need to focus on your interests, and then you can get started with a genre of games and figure out what esports competitions take place in that genre. Just for example, if you're into football in real life and you play the likes of FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer, then you would probably start esports competitions with that. And yeah, to begin with, obviously you need to practice, and that's probably the number one rule today is practice makes perfect. And that's true across all things in life. It's how I got good at rally driving in real life, and what goes hand in hand with that is determination to improve. For example, rallying has been basically the thing I've been interested in my whole life, so it was very easy for me to want to be a rally driver when I was watching rallies since I was like 3 years old, and my dad was doing co-driving for his best friend locally and working on rally cars as well, so I was always in around the service area and seeing the rally cars, smelling the fuel, and getting attached to the drug as such. So, you know, motorsport is a great drug, and ever since then I always wanted to compete, and yeah, that's how I got interested, and the interest and determination meant that I was able to develop myself and my skill sets and become really good at driving. So it was easier for me whenever I switched to esports this year to take my skills from real life and put them into gaming, and esports was much easier, I guess. If you're starting off completely new, then yeah, you just need to practice loads and really have a determination not to give up. So, you know, it's going to take a long time before you get to the top standard, but you just need to go through it and keep improving, be consistent with your practice, and just do plenty of tournaments as you can, and you'll get better. For me, I started exactly 1 year ago. I started my journey in esports, and the first thing I'd done was started to compete in the daily challenges, and that meant that I was starting to see what pace I needed to match. And then I was also looking at the world records that other guys were setting who competed in the world finals the year previously, so I knew what pace I needed to match, and I would just practice and practice and practice and restart and repeat until I could beat their times. And that's the only way you can really achieve what you want to achieve. Is if you want to be the greatest, you need to beat the best. So that's always been my goal, and even when you're getting days that aren't going well, you just need to keep going and keep trying and keep practicing and keep improving, because it's the only way that you're ever going to achieve anything. My best advice is to find out what interests you, start playing the relevant games that have esports in that genre, and try and improve. Try not to jump between them too much. You know, find one that really suits you and make that your game. You know, you need to make whatever esports game that you're playing in your game and just play that as much as you can, and that's how you really improve, because especially in sim racing, the physics models of each game are completely different. If you're playing lots of different games, it's going to confuse your muscle memory and your brain about what you can do in the different games. So make sure to stick with one game if you're competing professionally. I think if you are jumping between different games, it's good to refresh your palate and refresh your mind, but don't do it too much because it will start to confuse you. So whatever game that you're competing in, make sure that that's your number one game. That's pretty much how you need to get started. You know, just start off slow, work your way up, keep improving, don't give up. No matter how hard it feels, there's always a way to get there. I started this year not having competed in esports before. I ended up being the world champion like 7 or 8 months later, which is probably one of the quickest turnarounds. But I've been playing sim racing and rally games my whole life pretty much, so I knew how to be fast in them games. But when it come down to being involved in esports and competing competitively, I brought my real life experience and brought it into esports, and the two mix really well. I kind of had a lot of ups and downs on motivation levels this year because it's quite difficult in esports to find the time to practice whenever you have a full-time job. If you're working 5 days a week, you just need to find the time to practice, and you know, a couple of hours a day should be enough. If you practice efficiently and smartly, then you can still do it even if you've got other commitments and you don't have as much time as other guys have to practice. This year I had lots of ups and downs because it was quite difficult to get time to practice with my other commitments. Being self-employed and having other things going on around life, it's not always easy to find time to practice and compete. But you know, if you're determined enough, you'll find time and you'll find ways to achieve your dreams. And even though I had ups and downs, and you know, my motivation levels went up and down because it was quite difficult to beat some of the guys on certain rallies. 2 or 3 events in to the World Championship, I had 3 podiums, so it was a great start. And then it was difficult to maintain that because obviously I had won one of them events, and it's quite difficult to go on and win more. Winner of the grand final was going to be the champion. That quickly became my goal. Once I knew I was going to be able to qualify for the grand final, then my goal really was to win the grand final, become the world champion. And whenever it came down to the final, and it was only one try, one shot at each stage counted rather than 5 in the whole season of the qualification rounds, then I really shone through from my real life experience of consistency across a whole stage, across maybe 9 stages that really shone through, and I was the quickest all day, and I was the world champion at the end of it. So you know, you just need to really focus, and you know, always focus on the end goal. Never get too caught up on what happens in between, but you know, focus on the end goal and do it by step, and really dream big. Get started today. You know, if you're watching this video, you want to get started in esports, do your research, find out what's good for you, and start today. Life's short. If you've got goals and you want to achieve them, then please just go out and try it. Like, for example, I want to be a world rally champion in real life, and I have the skill set to do that. I'm not being cocky or boastful. I've competed at world level against world championship drivers, and I've shown my capabilities with considerably less seat time than most of the drivers competing against. So that's always been my goal, it's been my motivation. I've had the determination to do that, and you know, through budget issues I haven't been able to continue up to the top flight, and that's what I'm working on at the moment, to try and get the budget to do that. My passion was always to do that, and whenever I couldn't compete in real life rallying this year, it's just a complete missing part of my life. You know, don't know what to do with myself really. Having a normal job doesn't, well, my normal job now is making video games, so obviously I absolutely love that, but I didn't have that at the start of the year, so it was very, very difficult for me not to be rallying in real life, because that's what makes me tick, and I just needed something to fill that void, and esports was a great way to do that. I was good at racing games, good at sim racing, and I brought my skills from real life across to esports, and I was able to channel my life goals into that and became the virtual world champion of what I wanted to do in real life. And that's just a great example of never giving up. When you're faced by a wall, don't turn around and go the opposite direction. Go around the wall and find another way. That's basically what I done, and you know, it's opened up good opportunities for me. I'm gonna continue doing esports. I don't have the right setup at the moment, just due to the way my career has went, but I'm still going to be able to compete, and that's the main thing. And my goal is always the end goal, which is to be world champion, and that's what I'll focus on. I'll not get too tied up in the bits in between. You know, if you want to get started, if you want to be a real life rally driver, a racing driver, or football, but you can't do it, you know, try esports and give it a go, because it's a great way to be a world champion. If other factors don't allow you to do it in reality, then yeah, give esports a try. But yeah, my number one tip from this video is to get started, no matter how small it seems. Get started, start practicing, be determined, have goals, and yeah, get started. If you want to ask any questions in the comments, please do. I'll try and answer them and give you as much advice as I can. I'll be trying to give more tips, probably focusing more on sim racing esports, but this video really applies to all esports, and you know, it's just a matter of getting started and having a goal. And yeah, that's about it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. I'll be doing more tips on esports in the future, probably focusing more on sim racing, and yeah, that's about it. I'm just parked up now in work. I hope you enjoyed today's video of me driving and doing the vlog. I think it's a good way for me to do it, because I can think more creatively whenever I'm driving. So yeah, it was didn't seem like a chore to me, and I really enjoy doing these, and I'll be doing a lot more. So I've just arrived at Co-Masters. I'm going to go and do a day's work, have a lot of fun doing that, living the dream, and yeah, just keep focusing, guys, keep pushing, have motivation, and you know, your dreams will come true eventually. I'm going to be going back home next Friday to Northern Ireland, back home, and I've got lots of different things planned, lots of different videos I want to make when I'm home for 2 weeks at Christmas, so stay tuned for that. So that's it for this video. I'll see you next time, guys. Don't forget to keep it flat out and take care, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye bye.